Hey, that's right. I won in week 1. How about you? Future so bright I gotta wear shades. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm already getting my butt kicked here in week 2 by the wife. That's right. We're a house divided. That's the theme for the week. But I don't want to talk about that yet. First, let's talk about last week. Last week, I was a winner. I came in and I put a beat down on my neighbor, Mr. Steven. Put it down on the Riverside Smash. I smashed him. 115.82 to 98.6. It wasn't the best score in the league, but it was all I needed to get the W. All right. I had a big game from Adam Thielen. Good game from Chris Carson. Traded for him in another league. And Deshaun Watson put up like a solid 20 points. So that was good. Steven was hurt by the fact that Kittle went out early. Drew Brees had a pretty weak game. Really, Mark Andrews was the big highlight other than Nyheim Hines sitting on his bench putting up like 30-something points. So, anyways, I took that W. He's got to hold the L. But, you know, this week's an all-new week. In our next matchup, we had Fayetteville River Rats against Sprinkles in the Freezer. Sprinkles put a beat down on the River Rats. She was like decon or something. 128.14 to 100.78. As y'all may remember, the River Rats didn't really spend any money in the draft, so color me surprised that they broke 100. Mainly because of Russell Wilson and Jamison Crowder. Between those two guys, that's just like 55 points right there. So, you know, he was able to, you know, scrape together good enough team to put up 100 points. Meanwhile, Sprinkles had Devontae Adams putting up 41 points just himself. And then you've also got McCafferty putting up almost 30 points. That's like 70 points right there, just those two guys. Plus she's got Mahomes. Mahomes had an off day. He only put up 20 points. So Sprinkles took that matchup. Team Perry, this was probably our closest matchup of the week. Team Perry scrapes out the win against my lovely wife and the Gridiron. 103.9 to 98.9. Perry probably was feeling pretty confident going into that last game, but Juju Smith had a pretty solid outing, putting up 25 points almost, so at least made it respectable, right? So that was, you know, that was a good game there. It was not a high-scoring game. It was a defensive game. In fact, Gridiron's defense, the New Orleans Saints, put up 17 points. That's crazy. Meanwhile, my defense, the Vikings, who I dropped, put up -9. But that's neither here nor there. Against Too Good For You against the Trash Pandas, man, I would have not called this one right. Too Good For You put up 132. Trash Pandas only put up 90.56. They were banged up, the Pandas, man. Losing Michael Thomas, obviously a huge loss. So not a good outing for them, you know. So hopefully better things on the horizon for the Pandas, except for when they play me. And our last matchup last week, we had 52 balls scratch, the reigning champions, falling to the Memphis Mains. The Memphis Mains have already, you know, announced that this is their season. They're gunning for all of us. Put up 140.86. So that was another, you know, solid, like, run. In fact, that was the highest score put up by anybody except for Jive Turkeys, who put up 140.98. to the Lloyd Dobler Express, who only had 115.4. So, tough break there. In general, I always feel like if you can put up about 120 points, you know, a week, you're going to win most weeks. And, you know, really, we only had, I think, 3 teams this week that put up 120 or more. Actually, we had 4 teams, and 3 out of the 4 won. Sorry, 52 ball scratch. Last week was not your week. So, now let's turn to this week's matchups. But first, we've got a little ad from our sponsors.
Mabel, and I approve this message. Yeah.
We're back. All right. So, this week, like I said, it is a house divided. So much division in our country right now, and even in the fantasy world. I am playing my wife, Katie, in the Gridiron, and I'm just going to tell you all a quick story. So, earlier this week, I thought I was going to be funny because I knew she needed running backs, and I knew she was going to try and get Malcolm Brown, and I went in and put way too high bid, I'll just admit that now, on Malcolm Brown just to make sure that she couldn't get him. And then I turned around and traded him for a defense. And I thought I was real smug about that. And then Thursday night happened, and well, let's be honest. AJ Green did a whole lot of nothing, and Nick Chubb put up 26.3 points. So I was originally picked to win that game. Now the projections have me losing 122.5 to 113.8. So right now, looks like the tide is riding with the Gridiron. Meanwhile, I've got Odell Beckham sitting on my bench putting up like 17 points because I'm an idiot, right? I tried to trade him earlier this week to a few of y'all. Nobody responded. Well, a couple of y'all responded. Some of y'all just let it hang. I just canceled those because I don't like to wait. Anyways, I'm glad I kept him. So he may be the elite receiver I was looking for if Baker Mayfield can just keep his head on straight. Next, we look at Sprinkles in the Freezer playing the Lloyd Dobler Express. Another matchup that is a house divided, right? Let's pull that one up. Whoop, not that one. There we go. Sprinkles is picked to win this bout 121.3 to 117.3. So it's going to be a nail biter, right? She is coming in 1-0. He's coming in 0-1. Is Lloyd Dobler going to leave this week 0-2? We'll have to wait and find out. Should be a good matchup, though. And we have to all wonder how the tension is going on in the Winfrey-Wilson household. All right, moving on to our next matchup. We got two towns that I used to live in. The Fayetteville River Rats versus the Memphis Mains. Fayetteville River Rats, man, it's going to be interesting how they pull this off this season. But I have faith. I have faith that they will, get it together. In fact, they're who I traded Malcolm Brown to get the Steelers defense. They are picked to lose, however, 96.1 to 118.4. Memphis Mains, they said at the beginning of the season that this was their season. We'll have to wait and see. There's a lot of fantasy fake football to play. So, by the way, we still need to come up with a good name for this league. Right now, the only two suggestions I've got are the Board of Education, B-O-R-E-D, Board that way of Education, because so many of us are teachers, and Fairy Tale Football League. Those are the only two. If you've got a better one, please email it to me, and we'll put up a poll. But anyways, Memphis Mains picked to win this one pretty handily. Next, I've got Jive Turkeys versus the Riverside Smash. We got Bubba versus Steven. And Bubba is picked to win that one 137.5 to 116.5. I know Riverside Smash has been making some moves, trying to, beef up their team. They traded Kittle, a banged up Kittle that is, to the Trash Pandas for Jonathan Taylor. So that'll be interesting to see if, now that Mac's gone, if he gets the rock and can take that position. So I don't know. Personally, I think that matchup's going to be closer than what they're projecting, but we'll see. Next, we got Trash Pandas trying to get in the win column against Team Perry. And let's see, let me pull them up. Team Perry won last week, so they're feeling pretty good, but they just barely won. Team Perry is picked to win, or is actually picked to lose this one, 117.3 to 112.2. That said, when I look at their two lineups, man, it's a tough call. Like, Trash Pandas are beat up. They've got multiple players out, Michael Thomas out. But I think it's going to be a close one, just like the projection. I keep going back and forth on who I think who I think's going to win this one. I'm going to say Trash Pandas. How about that? I'm going with the projections. And last but not least, we've got our reigning champion, 52 Ball Scratch, playing Too Good For You. Again, Too Good For You is coming in with a win. 52 Ball Scratch is coming in 0-1. In fact, I think every matchup we have this week, we've got one team with 1-0 and the other team 0-1. So that ought to be interesting. Anyways, this one is super tight. This is the tightest projection we have for the week. We've got Too Good For You picked at 118.1 to beat the reigning champion, 117.1. I don't know, man. I look at these two rosters, and I'm right now, 52 Ball Scratch is up 24.54 because of Joe Burrow on Thursday night. But he's got Saquon Barkley, he's got Josh Jacobs, he's got Robert Woods. I don't know, man. I'm kind of leaning towards that team this week. But again, this one's going to be a nail biter. So those are the games of the week. Hope y'all set your lineups, except for my wife. I hope she screws up and, I don't know, leaves something open so I can finally have a win. I have not beaten this woman in like 2 or 3 years. She keeps beating me. Even the years when I won my championships, she beat me. So, bah!